Hey everybody, how we doing tonight? Pat here again. Grateful recovering alcoholic addict. We're gonna do another video on the topic of the just for today. And today's just for today. The topic is a loving God, and you know what? I love this one because that's what I'm all about. That's who saved me, right? My loving God saved me. So, the top quote is: "Our understanding of a higher power is up to us. The only suggested guidelines are that it be loving, caring, and greater than ourselves." Well, I mean, that's easy, man. That's what God is, okay? God created everything, man. This universe, all the planets, all the plants, all the animals, everything. Every atom was, His design, and it's all flowing together. I mean, I couldn't do that. That's certainly greater than I am, right? Greater than any of us is, right? That's easy. Um, a lot of us struggle in the beginning with, believing in God or a higher power or believing something greater than ourselves because so many of us know nothing but we're left to fend for ourselves. We can rely on nothing but ourselves when we're out there in active addiction, active use, hustle for ourselves, protect ourselves, stick up for ourselves, fight for ourselves, and we're not really fighting for ourselves. I think you start fighting for yourselves when you surrender. You know what I mean? That's where the strength lies. And again, you don't have to do it alone. I couldn't do it alone. Every time I tried, I failed. Like I said, I could get to a program because I do well in structure. But the minute I found myself alone, just me and me, I failed because I didn't have a higher power. I didn't have somebody greater than myself that I could rely on, that I could talk to. And sometimes just stopping to talk to God is enough to change a bad decision. You know what I mean? It might just be enough to make you pause for a second. And, a lot of us, we act on impulse. When we get hurt, we get upset, we get aggravated, we get angry, we react, right? And our first reaction is to, give the fuck it, fuck it, I'm going to use. This is going wrong, so, fuck it, I'm going to use. I'm going to get high or whatever. Um, Sometimes just that pause to reflect and think about a higher power is enough to take you out of that moment, okay? And that's huge. Think about that. You know what I mean? Like, so many times, especially when I was making the decision to relapse or to start using again, that could have been the difference maker. You know what I mean? That could have saved me a lot of years of suffering. But and that's not what happened. So that's okay because I'm here today. And let me tell you, when I surrendered, and again, I've talked about it, I surrendered long before I got clean, and that's what got me clean. You know what I mean? The only time I've ever had any periods of sobriety in the past were unfortunately, and it's not something I'm proud of. It's actually something that I used to, I used to carry a lot of shame with. I'll give you a little bit of background over the drugs and stuff, but you know, um, I didn't have it easy as a kid. No, none of us did. I'm not looking for sympathy. You know what I mean? I've been blessed in a lot of ways, and I was given, I was able to overcome anything I needed to for the most part, except that I, sabotaged myself. Um, so it's not about that. It's just about explaining, a little bit of, my how things work for me. Okay. And I lost my thought again. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I completely lost that one. Sorry, guys. I should edit this, but anyway, no, in the past, the only bouts of clean time I had were when I was in jail. And again, that's what I'm saying. It's not something I'm proud of. I didn't have it easy as a kid, but I managed to graduate high school. Um, I had a full scholarship to college, and I'm not going to get into that right now. It's a story for another day. But bottom line is just to save face. My full ride scholarship was taken away from me because somebody didn't want to sign a piece of paper for me. All right, and that's pretty messed up. So I've had some trauma. You know, what I mean, I could tell you a billion more. That's a drum. It's a drop in my ocean, as I like to call it. Right, but those are the things that gave me very self-limiting beliefs because they just reinforced that I wasn't good enough, that I didn't matter, that my feelings, my success, my future, didn't matter, and that's the shit that took hold of my heart. You know what I mean? So that shit kept me out there for a long, long time because that's how I saw myself. Never mind that those who knew me and loved me saw something completely different. They saw somebody very strong, very determined, very driven, because I did. And the way I went to school, we'll talk about that another day. We're not going to go off on a tangent, but I did things some really hard ways, and I succeeded really, really well. But then there's duality of the disease, right? I graduated college like second out of like 160 people in my class. I was super, super proud. It was in Cleveland, Ohio. I come back to a little small town in Medway, Massachusetts, and within like a month, I get arrested for my third OUI. I'm looking at jail time, losing the job I got there at the dealership, and and just disease is tragic, man. It takes, and I couldn't get over these things on my own because I was on my own, and I refused to reach out because just the depth of the confusion and the pain and not understanding why these things were happening and what I was doing wrong or was I being punished, and I just it's not something I was at that point able to talk about, and that sucks because I needed help and I couldn't ask for it, and that was tough, man. That's a shame. So, and I'm sure. And again, like I said, it's a drop in my ocean. Little by little, you'll hear a lot more. I'm not gonna make it all at once because it's just be a 7-hour shitty video. But I know you've all dealt with shit. I don't say these things to glorify. I say things to let you guys know that I've been there. I understand. I know you guys have a lot of shitty things that have happened, whether it's, a loss of somebody or abuse or just, abandonment, whatever it is. I'm not making light of it, but you know what's in your heart, what's in your, on your mind, what hurts you, right? Whether you, can admit it to another person, that's much further down the road for you to worry about that, right? Right now, it's about understanding that there is a power greater than yourself and that can help you, will help you, wants to help you, loves you, okay? Like I said, I say it every video, and I'm going to continue to say it every video. No two of us were made alike. No two of us have the same purpose, the same path, okay? So understand, you have one that is just yours. You have a plan that the world needs you to fulfill. And if we all get on that, and again, I call that being in alignment, right? If you find it, your life changes drastically quickly, okay? But it all starts with finding a conscious contact with your higher power. You've got to find a relationship with God. Whatever you choose to call it, you've got to find a relationship with God. It's everything. Like I said, I'm so really early on in my sobriety, but man, the things. As a matter of fact, I was just texting with my brother, right, my youngest brother, and it felt so good. He's like, I had hope for you in earlier bouts of sobriety, but you know what? I never saw the changes, the work being done that you're doing now. And I'm like, Matt, I can't even take credit for it because literally, I was finally, and again, my previous rock bottoms were way more devastating to my life, to my home life, to having a home, things of that nature. But this time, it was more like a spiritual rock bottom. You know what I mean? I got to the realization that I'm better than this. There's no reason for this. Like I got a lot of skills. I got a lot of blessings. What am I doing to myself? And you need to look at that because you do too. You've got skills. You got blessings, man. You woke up breathing today, right? You got blessings, and you got a hell of a lot more. I don't want to start throwing comparisons out there, but listen, when you stop and look at it, once you start talking to God, you'll start to see that there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of beauty in this world. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of hope. A lot of times, when we suffer the way that we do, a lot of us will start thinking, God is this vindictive, mean, punishing God. And you know what? That's the problem with so many religions. And you know what? I got no problem saying that. God is love. That is what God is. He's not here to hellfire and damnation, brimstone, and all that bullshit, right? That is made up by organized religion to get money out of you. Simple as that. It's a business. You know what? I don't care who sees it and disagrees with me. It is what it is, right? God will tell you that himself. The kingdom of heaven is within. So look within, because that's where you're going to find your answers. That's where you're going to find hope. That's where you're going to find salvation. That's where you're going to find happiness, peace, joy, purpose. Purpose is huge, man. God. When I was homeless for 3.5 years, I had no purpose, man. I didn't ever see myself being able to get up and work again. That was, God, coming up on 10 years ago, man. And, so I'm, I left that life about 6.5, 7 years ago, and I've worked my ass off, every day that I wasn't, this past month, I was in detox, but, and actually I was working my ass off in there too, but I was working on myself, and that's what I'm doing today. I talked in one of my previous videos that I've come to, little by little, I'm fixing everything, because it's not just the drugs, it's everything. It's everything that was leading me to the drugs. So I dropped toxic relationships. I found self-love, self-care, self-worth. I found my relationship with God, obviously. This is what I've dedicated my life to. And as I talked about, I quit my job today. I'm giving them 2 weeks notice because, It's all about being a good person, doing the right thing, and that was the right thing to do. And the guy wasn't happy because he puts way too much on my shoulders because I allow him to. I've allowed him to. I've allowed him to let me run his business for him while he's, well, call it what it is, getting fucked up. But I let him do that to me, and since the day that I come back, I've been letting him know that's not how it is anymore. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And he's tried. I give him a lot of credit. You know what I mean? But it's just a really negative, drug-filled environment that I can't be a part of. And I could justify it. I found myself trying to justify it. Well, I'm $6,000 in debt with rent. I have to work. I got to do this. No, man. I got skills. I can go anywhere and find work. I get a couple things lined up that I'm going to try and do for myself. But for the time being, I'm going to try not to overwhelm myself because my recovery comes first. I'm going to make time. I'm going to make time for my meetings, my therapist, my men's group, my recovery group, my home group. I can start going to again. It's a noontime meeting. I can schedule my own work around that. It's a good group. When you start to get real, get serious, find God, and God starts to bring the light back into your heart, you'll start finding that these things matter. And, it does. It makes a goddamn difference, man. You're not alone. You don't have to be. Just got to let God in, and then God will bring everything else you need in little by little, day by day, minute by minute. You know what I'm saying? So, please, give yourself a break. Give yourself a chance. There's just so much better in this world that I was blind to for so long. And honestly, today I'm actually grateful for everything I've been put through because it got me here. It gave me the strength, the resilience, and it finally showed me just who I am. And I love myself today. I can honestly say that, and that is big for me because it's not something I could ever previously say. Honestly, like that was something I struggled with and kept me out there a long time. So I think that's my message today, guys. I hope somebody gets something out of this. Again, like, subscribe, share. Please try and get this to somebody. If you know somebody that's suffering with any alcoholism, addiction, or anything that it might help with. This is really about finding God in your life and the power of what He can do for you. And I'm going to show you what He's going to do for me. I'm already physically way better. Mentally, spiritually, forget it. Different person altogether, right? Watch and see what happens next, okay? Thank you, guys. God bless. Be safe. God loves you. I love you. Get help. Seek help. Seek God, okay? And then seek help, okay? If you need, if you can't find it for yourself, you can't find help, drop me a message in the comments. I'll find something for you. I'll do anything and everything I can to get somebody to you to get you into treatment, all right? Please, want it. Want better, do better, get better, okay? Thank you, guys.